Good evening, Rutgers. I'm Watcher Connor Woodcock here with your evening forecast for Tuesday, March 11th, 2025. We're coming off a pretty nice season, unseasonably warm and kind of feeling like spring out there today with a high of in the low 70s that we have this afternoon. Right now, we have a temperature of 64 degrees. The sun is setting with clear skies. Not much wind to talk about, so that feels like temperature is still at 64 degrees and humidity at 35%. Unfortunately, today was kind of just more of a spring of deception as we're kind of getting back into the colder temperatures come midweek. Although we're kind of rebounding as we get into later this weekend and going into Friday. But we're actually warming up to temperatures that might be a little bit above what we had today, especially starting the work week on Monday and Tuesday. So at least something to look forward to, just a little hurdle to get past the beginning of the work week for this week. For South Jersey, we're pretty much in the low 50s if you're far South Jersey, still lingering around 60s in areas like Medford and Cherry Hill. We're a little bit warmer here in North Jersey. Temperatures in the upper 50s to low 60s, although still within the range of South Jersey. So we're pretty much in the upper 50s to low 60s across the state as we end tonight. So like I said, we're going to have some colder temperatures, and it's because we have something what's called a backdoor cold front. Where this cold front, usually we talk about cold fronts coming from the west to the east, instead of this coming from the north to the south. And pretty much a Canadian high pressure system is going to be accompanying that up all the way up into the north. And that's going to be pretty much staying pretty much down into the West Virginia area come tomorrow and going into Thursday. That's going to be keeping us relatively cold for tomorrow going into midweek. So I just want to know that we have a pretty large temperature gradient. So Roanoke, Virginia tomorrow, around tomorrow evening, is going to have a temperature of 78 degrees, while here in New Brunswick, you'd expect a temperature 49 degrees, maybe around the 50s. So this cold front that's be setting up kind of right here along maybe Pittsburgh and Washington, D.C. is going to be kind of keeping us a little bit colder than the rest of the eastern coast, with the exception of New England, which is kind of close to freezing at this point in time. And pretty much the same on Thursday, maybe a little bit warmer for areas like Pittsburgh and Washington, but that cold front is still keeping its position in the Pittsburgh, Washington area, and we're pretty much in the 40s and 50s for North Jersey. Maybe a little bit warmer in South Jersey as you're kind of a little bit closer to that warm front, and you're getting a little bit more warmer air compared to here in North Jersey. The last thing to talk about kind of is a little bit in the future. I'm just highlighting this because we usually don't get this. The Storm Prediction Center has issued a 15% severe weather risk for pretty much the entirety of the eastern seaboard going up into South Jersey and into North Brunswick. We don't really get this because it's this far out. You don't get these kinds of severe weather predictions for the Northeast and East Coast. So just something to keep an eye on as we get closer to the weekend, and especially on Sunday, going into Sunday night and going into Monday as well. So for the overnight, I expect a low of 40 degrees with mostly clear skies, winds coming in from the southwest 5 miles per hour, sunrise tomorrow at 7:14 a.m. And for tomorrow, I expect a high of 52 with mostly cloudy. We're pretty much mostly cloudy for the next 3 days. A high of 51 on Thursday and a high of 56. Starting to warm up as we get into the weekend, a high of 56 on Friday. And then mostly cloudy on Saturday with a high of 63, finally getting back into the 60s. And then we could get a hint of 70 degrees as a high, but those thunderstorms that I talked about in those 2 slides ago that we have a risk of come Sunday going into Monday morning, early Monday morning, with a chance of showers starting the work week next week, or starting the spring break next week, I should say, with a high of 58, and then sunny skies on Tuesday with a high of 60. So feel free to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. I'm Weather Watcher Connor Woodcock. Have a great night, Rutgers.